China is known for many things, like its ancient history and its delicious food. In the cybersecurity world, China is the beast that keeps on giving. From major hacks of corporations and governments to prolific espionage campaigns, Chinese cyber attacks have made headlines around the world. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Toporo. Toporo is where we count down the best and leave out the rest. In this video, we count down the top 10 most notable attacks that have been attributed to China. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. On number 10, we're going to discuss Operation AURORA in 2010. Hackers attacked businesses including Google and Adobe using a weakness in certain versions of Internet Explorer. It took advantage of a zero-day vulnerability, a recently identified software flaw that the owner has not yet patched. The software is susceptible to cybersecurity hazards until it is. After the event, Dmitry Alperovich, vice president of security research at McAfee, told Wired, "We have never ever seen commercial industrial enterprises come under that sort of sophisticated assault outside of the military sector. The threat model is entirely altering as a result." Moving onwards, on number 9, we have an attack on the New York Times in January 2013. The reporters and staff of the New York Times were the targets of a persistent 4-month cyber attack. The breach was started when David Barboza, the tabloid's bureau head in Shanghai, released an investigation into how Wen Jiabao's family amassed a wealth worth several $billion via commercial deals, according to the publication. According to the article, the attack was carried out using tactics that have previously been connected with the Chinese military, the same university computers that the Chinese military previously used to strike American military contractors were the source of the assaults. The Wall Street Journal followed suit and reported the next day that Chinese hackers had also accessed its systems after the New York Times broke the story. On to number 8. China attacked the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. The American Office of Personnel Management, OPM, which oversees the civilian workforce of the federal government, came under cyber attack in November 2013 and persisted until April 2015. Over 20 million people's personal details, including thumbprint and social security numbers, were compromised in the breach. Despite knowing that hackers had been gaining access to the OPM computers since March 2014, officials thought a system reset in May 2014 would purge the intruders, according to CSO Online. OPM didn't find any more unusual behavior for over a year. On to number 7. EQUIFAX was targeted by China in 2017. When hackers gained access to the servers of credit reporting company EQUIFAX in 2017, the personal information of more than 147 million Americans was in danger. Credit card numbers and home addresses were among the stolen data in one of the worst assaults ever. According to fraud expert Aviva Latan at the time, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10, the BBC stated. 4 military hackers from China were charged in 2020 for breaking into EQUIFAX computers in 2017. Attorney General William Barr of the United States stated the following about this incident and others, such as the OPM data breach. "This data has commercial value, and these thefts may fuel China's development of artificial intelligence technologies as well as the production of intelligence targeting packages." On to number 6. We have our next target of China, which is EasyJet in May 2020. 9 million EasyJet customers' personal information was exposed in what the company called a very sophisticated hack. As is often the case, EasyJet informed the BBC at the time that it required time to establish the breadth of the assault and to identify who had been harmed. According to The Telegraph, the tools and tactics employed revealed a gang of Chinese hackers as suspects who were considered to be behind several assaults on airlines in recent months. On to number 5. We're going to discuss China's attack on the Vatican in July 2020. Computer systems at the Vatican were hacked by alleged Chinese state-sponsored hackers. According to Reuters, the incident occurred before negotiations between Beijing and the Vatican to extend a provisional 2-year arrangement on the functioning of the Catholic Church in China. The assault used techniques already connected with state-backed hacking organizations to target communities between the Vatican and Hong Kong dioceses. The Vatican's Apostolic Library was reportedly dealing with 100 cyber threats every month as of November 2020, intrusions that might affect the reputation of the Vatican Library and have serious financial consequences. There haven't been any known direct connections between China and these assaults, however. Moving forward at number 4, India was targeted in February 2021. India has been the subject of multiple Chinese state-sponsored cyber attacks as the bilateral ties between China and India continue to worsen over the Line of Actual Control (LAC) issue in the Galwan Valley. WinT malware, a family of malware that various Chinese threat actors have traditionally employed, was deployed in this campaign by Tag28. In connection with the assault on BCCL, 4 IPs were observed corresponding with 2 WinT C2 servers and perhaps a Cobalt Strike server between February and August 2021, resulting in the exfiltration of around 500 megabytes of data from the network. Researchers noticed 2 IPs associated with UIDAI connecting with the same alleged Cobalt Strike C2 server used to attack BCCL from June 10th until at least July 20th, 2021. Then on to number 3. Afghanistan's telecom firm Roshan becomes the target of China in August 2021. Hack a major Afghan telecom firm Roshan, one of the country's main suppliers of telecoms. Recorded Future's Insect Group has discovered separate intrusion activities related to 4 different Chinese state-sponsored threat actors targeting a mail server of Roshan. There are 2 other clusters utilizing the WinT and PlugX backdoors that haven't yet been tied to groups, in addition to the Red Foxtrot and Calypso APTs. Data exfiltration activity for these intrusions peaked in August and September 2021, coinciding with significant geopolitical events, including the evacuation of US soldiers and the Taliban takeover. This is especially true for the Calypso APT activities and the unknown threat actor utilizing the WinT malware. The second to last attack which we're going to discuss in this video is on Israel by China. Since January 2019, a Chinese-based cyberspying organization known as UNC-215 has been waging war on Israeli government agencies, IT service providers, and telecommunications firms. UNC-215 is linked to APT-27 with low confidence and is set to target organizations that are very important to Beijing's financial, diplomatic, and strategic objectives. In order to avoid detection and blend in with legitimate network traffic, UNC-215 leverages other victim networks to proxy its C2 commands. It also employs false flags and consistently tries to erase tools and other forensic artifacts from compromised devices. For instance, UNC-215 used a customized tool that Iranian actors disclosed at least 3 times to trick analysts and give the impression that Iranian actors were responsible for the assaults. Tag22 is our last attack, which we're going to discuss in this video. Recorded Future identified Threat Activity Group 22, Tag22, in July 2021 as a possible Chinese state-sponsored entity that was aiming its attacks against telecommunications, academic, R&D, and government institutions in Nepal, the Philippines, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. In June 2021, Tag22 was discovered to have been targeting the Industrial Technology Research Institute in Taiwan, Nepal Telecom, and the Department of Information and Communications Technology in the Philippines. The group was first discovered in September 2020, targeting a university and airport in Hong Kong. In its most recent effort, Tag22 first gained access via hijacked Glassfish servers and Cobalt Strike before switching to WinT, Shadowpad, and Spider backdoors, leveraging actor-controlled C2 infrastructure for long-term access. Tag22 is identified as a separate activity cluster that interacts with the larger WinT group network. It utilizes shared custom backdoors that are specific to Chinese state-sponsored organizations, such as Shadowpad and WinT, as well as open-source offensive security tools like Cobalt Strike and EQUIFAX. The group's continuous use of publicly disclosed infrastructure shows that, in spite of a variety of public reports of its activities, it is having a high degree of operational success. So remember folks, never underestimate the power of the Chinese government to wage cyber war against its enemies. Which one surprised you the most? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified for more. Thanks for watching. This is Toporo, and we're out.